Often when we're multiplying fractions, we will want to simplify our answer, either because we're planning on doing some further arithmetic with it, or simply because we want to make our answer easier to understand. Now, sometimes we can do this in a perfectly straightforward way. For example, if we multiply 3/7 times 2/9, we'll get 3 times 2 over 7 times 9 is 6 over 63. But a little bit of arithmetic shows us that these are both multiples of 3. In particular, 6, of course, is 3 times 2. 63 is 3 times, let's do some division. 63 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 3 once. So 3 times 21. Cancel the common 3, and we get 2 21sts. Fairly straightforward. These were both reasonably small numbers. But sometimes we encounter a multiplication problem where the numbers were huge. For example, in the last video, we saw that 7/18 times 45/28 gave us 315 504ths. Who's excited about the idea of trying to find a common factor of 315 and 504? That's right, nobody. But look, we already know part of the factorization of each of these two numbers. We know that 315 will factor first as 7 times 45. And 504 will factor first as 18 times 28. Oh, but we also know that 45 is 9 times 5, and 18 is 9 times 2. These are not prime, but they are common factors of these two numbers. 28 factors as 7 times 4. 7 is prime and a common factor of these two numbers. The only remaining factor of 315 is 5. We don't need to continue to break the 4 down. We have 7 times 9 times 5 over 9 times 2 times 7 times 4. And we can now cancel the common 7s, cancel the common 9s. What's left? 5 over 2 times 4. That is 5/8. 315 504ths simplifies to 5/8, which is pretty nice. And we didn't have to go through a lot of really hard work factoring 315 and 504, because we already knew two numbers that we could multiply in order to get them. In fact, we didn't even need to know about 315 or about 504. All we really needed to know was 7 times 45 and 18 times 28. So if I asked you to multiply 16/49 times 21/32, you could write 16 times 21 over 49 times 32. But instead of carrying out this multiplication, you could first look for common factors. And you could notice, for example, that 32 is a multiple of 16. In fact, 32 is 16 times 2. Or you could notice that 21 and 49 are each multiples of 7. Again, I'm not copying the 16 because I've already canceled that out. 21 is 7 times 3. 49 is 7 times 7. I can cancel a 7. That leaves me with 3 over 7 times 2. That is 3/14. We can find that 16/49 times 21/32 is 3/14 without ever finding out what 49 times 32 is. And a day on which we don't have to multiply 49 times 32 is a good day. I'm going to have you try one of these now, where you multiply two fractions and simplify before you perform the multiplication. Multiply 3/4 times 10/3. Pause the video and try this now. Alright, so the first thing we notice, before we look at anything else, is that 3 is a common factor of both the numerator and the denominator. We also notice that 10 and 4 have a common factor of 2. Again, not copying the 3 because I've already canceled it. So we're able to cancel a common 2 as well. And we're left with 5/2. 3/4 times 10/3 is 5/2. And again, we were able to work that out without ever multiplying 3 times 10.